follow you to the dark. No blinding lights, just
For Death Cab for Cuties, I Will Follow You Into the Dark. We're going to be capoed on the 5th fret and standard tuning. This song we're going to focus pretty much all on the right hand because that's what's most unique about this song. It uses a technique that once you learn it, you'll probably incorporate it into many other songs that you play, so it's a really good one to learn. And it involves this brushing of your fingers, your nails ideally, against the strings. Immediately after that brush stroke, you're going to grab generally the B string. It can change depending on how you'd like to play it, but the song mostly uses the B string. So you're going to grab that string, it's hard to do it slowly, but right after hitting with that brush stroke. You might not be able to see it. So even before you incorporate the left hand, you can get used to playing in that manner with your right hand. And as I mentioned, it's generally the B string, but it might change a little bit here and there, again, depending on how you want to play. And we can break that out into a couple different stages. We have the first one, where you're not using your ring finger to grab that pickup note. Then we can add that. And we can even get a little bit more creative with it. And I'm probably hitting it harder than I need to. It's pretty light. We're going to start off with an A minor. And we're just going to incorporate that right hand as we just talked about. So with our A minor, we hit our bass note. The X's are going to represent where we're doing our brush strokes. Grab the B string, and then we're going to hit our bass note again. Then we're going to go into the C and do exactly the same thing with the right hand. And we're going to go to an F. I grab my F in this manner, where I wrap my thumb around, and then the additional strings are with each of the other fingers. Again, it's that same right-handed technique. And some have that extra little note in there. Here's that 2nd fret on the G string. And then we go to a C and we do a little walk down on the bass note. And we go back to an A minor and play the same thing that we did in the first measure. And I like to grab the 3rd fret of the B string before going to the G, and so I just throw down my pinky right there. So that section again. And we go back to an A minor, C, and here we go to an E. And our pickup note to the E, I like to try and grab the 1st fret of the G string here, just because it really stands out in the transition from the C. So A minor, C, and then A minor, and a walk down to a G. Moving into the F, I throw down my middle finger to then transition into the F. So we have the E, A minor, walk down to the G, and then the pickup note is on that 2nd fret. And it's really important when we go from the F major to the F minor to emphasize, not necessarily emphasize, but make sure that the first fret of the G string is heard. So you can hear the difference between those two. So we go back to the E. So you can hear that the F go to the F minor. And to do that, again, I'm wrapping my thumb around for the F major. I lift up my middle finger and I bar that same string plus the B and the E behind it. So I'll play it again from the E. And then to the C. And you notice on some of these notes, you can be fairly free on, you don't have to hit the exact ones that I have tabbed. As long as your left hand is covering the whole chord, if you don't actually hit the B, it's not the end of the world. Hit the B string. We'll start with, again, the E. F minor, and then the C. And for this part, we're bouncing the bass note from C to G to C to G. And you can add in that extra strum that you hear anytime you like. I have it tabbed out just so you can see what it would look like on paper. So playing through this entire section at a slowed down pace, we have this. So that was both the intro and the chorus. The verse is even a little simpler, which is nice. We're gonna stay on that same C and G series. This is when he starts singing. Love of mine. And then we go to an A minor, and what was our C and G bass note becomes an A and an E. That a couple times. And then we're going to go to an F again in this same left-handed position. So we have, and the right hand, you can be a little bit open. Even if you hit more than one note, it actually sounds a little bit more natural, even, I'd say. Right there, I'm hitting two notes, or a couple strings. I don't have it in the tab that way, but just to give yourself a little bit more freedom to play as you like. And then we go back to our C. And then we're gonna do that same thing where I throw down my pinky, hit the third fret of the B string, and then go into a G. So playing through the verse, we have this. Love of mine, someday you will die, but I'll be close behind. I'll follow you into the dark. No light, and we repeat. No blinding lights, just timeless gates of white. Just our hands clasped so tight, waiting for the hint of a spark.